Hey, what's up, everybody? So we're here, we're at the theater, and we're gonna go see Scream 6. So, I've just been thinking about it and kind of wondering what to expect with this one. Based upon Scream, the last one, Scream 5, I guess. While it was okay, there was just so much stuff that they were trying to make meta with the whole requel thing, and I'm wondering what this one is going to be. This one's it's a whole different Ghostface. It's like, there seems to be the big promos about it and kind of going through the whole thing. So is that what it is? It's just that, is it going to be more violent than the previous ones? Are, we really giving this reboot trilogy, or whatever they're going to do, a chance? But I guess we're just going to have to see. So I'm not sure what to think about the whole thing. And, I'm not like super excited. I know a lot of people are really excited about this franchise, and it's one of those things where I've been kind of like okay on the franchise. The first one is great. The second two are terrible. And the fourth one was actually better than I thought it was going to be. It is my second, like, in the tiers of them. It still had its stupid moments and some really dumb things that happened in that movie. But, I thought 5 might be getting back to maybe what the first one did, and some people really put it up there with the first one. I couldn't. So I guess we're just gonna have to see what happens when we get into Scream 6. I also don't know why Jenny Ortega's character is so focused on, other than the fact that, it's Jenny Ortega, or Jenna Ortega. I don't want to say Jenny. And that she's like the hot thing right now. But we'll have to see what goes on as the movie progresses, I guess. And hopefully, I'm just hoping that the kills are better, some of the better ones in the series, that maybe there are actually some scares. And I also hope that the comedy is not lost in the movie. That's probably the biggest thing for me. Is it going to be as funny, or are they going to try to do this like super serious, like that type of thing? So we'll have to see what happens when we get into the movie. So, all right, here we go. And I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, so I don't normally do it this way because I like to go back home. I like to think on the way back, everything like that. But I'm still in the fucking car. And why am I in the car? One, I got to go some places. I got to do some things. But I really want to get everything kind of out of my head for this movie and do this whole thing with the video, the review, and all that other stuff. So, please bear with me that it's in my fucking car and that I'm doing the review right now after I've just seen this movie. Scream 6. Yeah, it ranks underneath Scream, the fifth one. It ranks right underneath it. It is definitely more violent, and the kills are better than some of the other movies I've seen so far. The ending is fucking stupid. The ending of this movie is so goddamn dumb that I can't. I don't know how to process everything that's going on there. And there's somebody said there's going to be some spoilers, so I apologize that there's spoilers in here. But there's just some stupid things I got to talk about, because it doesn't do a bad job in getting to the point. And I feel like have seen 2 movies almost in a row that have exactly the same issue. And they have slow opening things, and it wasn't super slow. Okay, I'll give it that. It kind of jumps right into it, to be honest. Maybe I'm just thinking because I'm trying to compare it to Cocaine Bear and the way that I thought about everything with that movie. But the ending is definitely the worst part of this movie. The last act is absolutely terrible in the way that it does stuff. But the middle is fantastic. So there are a couple of things that they needed to do that they didn't do, in my opinion. This is all just my opinions and thinking about the way that the franchise needs to go and what it's trying to set forward. And, we're going to change expectations. But man, maybe is because I could say maybe they did the right thing, because they did subvert my expectation on what I think should have happened to characters in the movie. Like what I think, and huge spoiler here, what I think should have happened to Gale. Okay, I think she should have fucking died. That is just me. I think that it would have been, the right thing to do. I think that the fact that they killed Dewey in the last movie, and that Dewey, his character, like, got killed by a much smaller, apprentice of the whole thing, like killed by the girlfriend, and like she took his ass down too. It wasn't just something that was like a little bit, and that he unceremoniously was killed off in that movie, where he could have survived. He could have totally survived, but they did it because requels do these types of things. And here, we're in the franchise. That's the whole thing that comes from the one twin that I can't stand. I just cannot stand that character. I don't think the actress is bad. I just don't like the character at all. But we're in a franchise. So since we're in a franchise, they expect the unexpected. And they can kill off legacy characters. And they can do this. And they can do... And then there goes the legacy character. So kill off the fucking legacy character. And I think that that's one of the better scenes. It's definitely not, why is Gale's character, the actress who plays her, all I'm thinking is Monica. But that's Courtney Cox. I remembered it. But Courtney Cox, like, it's definitely not her running in those scenes, and she definitely is a lot tighter in the face area than I would be expecting. And hey, if I only look half as good when I get a lot older, and the gray is already kind of popping up here, but it's just... I just wanted more out of it. And again, like, it's a good scene and it's well set up because she thinks she knows the rules, and then he's coming in there and then he ends up getting the better of her and outsmarting her. And even though we know Gale's been this smart thing, but yet she's still like saved at the end. And then it feels like G.I. Joe, the fucking movie, the animated movie that happened a long time ago, where people are upset that they killed fucking Duke. And at the end of the fucking movie, oh, Duke's gonna survive. Like, it's that type of bullshit that happens. Oh, we've got a little bit of a pulse. Oh, so she's not gonna die. Everybody rejoice. And then there's another character too that happens to at the end, and I called that fucking one right away. Now, the twist with who's the killer and stuff like that, I guessed in the beginning, and I was like, I don't know. Because again, it does the whole thing of every Scream movie. Is this person the killer? Is that person the killer? Is this person? No, it's gonna be this. I really wish that there was a high tension type of mindfuck ending for this. And if you've never seen High Tension before, you should see High Tension just for the significance of the movie. I think the ending is terrible. A lot of people really love it. All different things. But I would have rather have seen that. I would have rather seen our main character, the daughter of Billy Loomis, and I forget what her name is, but that she somehow slips into a trance, becomes Billy Loomis, and is killing the people, and doesn't, like, thinks that she's part of the group, and that, they're afraid of her, but and she's actually never really around, but she thinks that she's getting away from the whole thing. I would have seen that 20 times and been like, oh my God, that is an original idea for this franchise. It's not an original idea, and it would be a call back to High Tension if people knew what the fuck the movie was, but it would be much better than what they're doing here, where this is just a retread of the original 4 fucking movies, where everybody that is the goddamn killer is related to the main characters in some way, shape, or form. Not related as in their brother and sister or whatever, but every killer so far within these 2, they've been related. And it's like, okay. And the dumbest thing that happens at the end of the movie, and this is not, a spoil. I'm not going to spoil who the people are or whatever it is, because I kind of spoiled it right there. If you haven't seen it, then you're going to go into it and be like, oh, blah, blah, blah. But the dumbest thing is that one of the characters, okay, so one of the main characters, she's on the top. It's like the final fight, and she's got a gun, and, she's getting ready, and she goes to shoot one of the killers, and the gun doesn't have any ammo. And so what does the other killer do? The other killer doesn't bother to check. That has a gun, by the way. That has a gun as well. That killer doesn't bother to just point gun and shoot. Instead, it's running at him, the killer's running at her with the goddamn gun, and then the gun goes off when they collide. So that fucking killer had a goddamn bullet and just could have put one through her fucking head, and then that's it. That the whole thing is done. They've killed this main character off. So I feel like there needs to be a little more smart in it. And the reason why I liked 4, even though 4 is silly, I feel that it was very smart in what it was doing. The original one is super smart, okay? It's meta, and this one even has meta. And this one has a stinger that it's up to you to decide whether or not you really want to stay for it, because it is funny, and it did get me, and I was like, oh, bullshit. And there's another bullshit thing. It was funny because, we were with, it was Patrick and Crystal and my cousin Angelo and then Joey, who's Patrick's brother. And there's something that happens at the end, and these girls were like, oh, and he's like, he leans over them and he tells them, oh, come on, that's just not supposed to happen. And I'm like, and that was the point where I called something else too. And I was just like, and so, and this movie relies heavily on its own tropes that that certain people are going to be associated or are the killers. That there's going to be multiple, because the only one to only have one is Scream 3, and that's because the studios got involved and all that stuff, and ever since then it's been multiple killers, like all this stuff. But I will say that, I know I'm ranting a lot, but the very positive of the movie is that the kills are good. The kills are very bloody. The kills are excellent to the slasher genre. It's interesting to see Hayden Panettiera's character back from Scream 4. And in the aspect that she's being used in this film, it's interesting. And I just, like, again, I think you can have a good time with it, and I think you have to shut your brain off in some things, but I still think that it's worth talking about, and it's worth going through, because, like, Jenna Ortega's performance is pretty good, but I'm still just like, kind of like, okay. The main character, I didn't like her in the last movie. I don't like her in this one either. The way that she does things, she has this like blank expression on her face that I just cannot grasp. And there's a whole subplot with her, like, having to deal with the fact that people have spread online. They've damaged her character after she survived the last thing, and that is something that rolls in this movie as well. And then she's got a relationship with this supposed cute guy from across the hall that's an Arrow, and she doesn't want to tell everybody because she's not ready to date, or not ready to explain that she's dating, or whatever it is. And again, there's the whole thing of, is he, isn't he, is he, isn't he. But there is a really good scene that's up there they're trying to cross across between the buildings on a ladder that's stretched out between the two windows. I really like that scene. I liked a couple. I like the scene in the subway, was very, very good, because not only was it that they did the light thing, right, where the light's on and you see Ghostface over there, and then the lights completely go out and you can't see him, but you could, because it wasn't completely dark, and you could actually watch him move around the screen into the last one, where it becomes the surprise for both the character and the audience. I thought that was superbly done. I think that is an excellent fucking scene. It is excellently shot. It is excellently directed. It's brilliant. But there's so many things that, like, I just hate that Mindy character so much, that, and the brother is so much better. It's just, I don't know why. I don't know why they want to focus on her being, the God damn it, now I'm forgetting his name too. The Jamie Kennedy character from the other films. And I just don't think that she suffices that role. It's not badly acted. She's not a bad actress. I just don't like the character that much. So, with that all being said, I would give this 3 out of 5 stabs. I think that it's a solid entry in the franchise. Putting this into the ranking of all the films, it would rank, it'd be about equal with Scream from 2022. So, and for a lot of the same reasons that I did not like the parts of Scream, it's the same things that go on here. So I think you could shorten it up for a little bit. The pacing was good though. Even being 2-hour long movie, the pacing was pretty good on this. And I think that there definitely is a way they could do and enhance the franchise if they're going to do one more. I really hope that they do one and just make it a trilogy and talk about how new franchises get new trilogies and then just end it and actually give it a rest for a little bit. I hope they do that, but this is going to probably make a bunch of money and people are going to flock to it and people will see more Scream. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure that you check out all the other stuff. There should be a new podcast coming very, very soon. Make sure you're following all the links inside of the description and let me know what you guys thought about Scream 6 and leave a comment down below. So I'll catch you guys later.